Hi, my name is Ryan, and I'm wondering, what is AIS?
Ryan, AIS stands for Aquatic Invasive Species, and aquatic invasive species actually crowd out our native species and can cause damage to our lake ecosystems and a lot of other different things.
Hi, my name is Robert, and my question is, what is TIS?
Hi, Robert. Yes, I've got your answer to your question here. What is TIS? Well, TIS actually stands for Terrestrial Invasive Species, and terrestrial means growing upland, or if it's an animal or an insect, meaning its habitat is upland and not aquatic.
Hi, my name is Jesse, and I am wondering what TIS does. Can you give me an example?
Hi, Jesse. I have an answer to your question here. What does TIS actually do? And can you give me an example? Yes, I could give you several examples. And a couple of the examples would be common buckthorn, which takes over native habitat. It takes over everything that is native and does not allow anything else to grow there. So whatever is growing with the natives cannot survive anymore with just the buckthorn growing there.
Hi, my name's Alexa, and my question is, what is the most common invasive species in Oneida County?
Hi, Alex. Yes, you had a question on what is the most common species of invasive species, actually a terrestrial invasive species. And I've got to say with that, that's going to be the spotted knapweed. And later on in the summer, you'll see that, probably in July, and you'll see it along the roadsides especially. And it's purple, and it's sort of got a grayish looking a stem and leaves, and it's a tough plant. So that would probably be our most common here in Oneida County.
Alex, the most common aquatic invasive species in the area up here in the North Woods, I would say, is a Chinese mystery snail or possibly rusty crayfish.
Hi, my name is Jackie. My question is, do AIS grow in the winter?
Jackie, that's really a great question because many people don't think AIS are alive and moving in wintertime. Up here in the North Woods, many of our plant species die off, but oftentimes they have seed that will live through the winter and can be transported even in the middle of winter. Or any of our animals, for example, like spiny water flea, they may not be living in wintertime, but their eggs are down in the water alive and ready to go for springtime and a little bit of warm weather.
Hi, my name is Chase, and my question is, what types of TIS grow are a threat to Oneida County?
Chase, I think I have an answer to your question. What are the TIS, which is terrestrial invasive species, threat to Oneida County? Well, we have several. Some of the top priority ones are the bush honeysuckle, which is an Asian honeysuckle that came over here from Asia. We have buckthorn, which is taking over native vegetation and everything. We have also Japanese knotweed. Japanese knotweed is coming up here pretty quick, and it's quite an invasive. So we've got many. We've got maybe around 16 of them as a priority in Oneida County.
Hi, my name is Carlene, and I'm wondering, how do you check to see if there's any invasive species in the bottom of the water?
Most excellent question, Carlene. There's a couple ways that we can do it. We have super big rakes, like 15 feet tall, that we can touch and get down into the bottom of the water. We also can use nets, or one of our funnest things that we get to do over the summertime is actually snorkel, where we put our goggles and flippers on and snorkel around boat landings to check for AIS.
Hi, my name is Emma, and my question is, what is yellow floating heart and what does it do?
Emma, this was a really good and tough question for me. We don't have yellow floating heart anywhere in the area, but it looks a lot like our native lily species. Our native lilies that are on our lakes. It has a heart-shaped leaf, like a lily pad. It has wavy edges, but the one feature that is different, it has 2 to 5 yellow flowers, where our native lilies only have 1 yellow flower. And what happens with a lot of our plant AIS is that they crowd out all of our native species underneath and make a lake less diverse. And we don't see a lot of our plants and fish like we used to.
Hi, my name is Izzy, and I am wondering, what should I do if I see TIS, or terrestrial invasive species, and can you give me a specific example?
Hi, Izzy. I was wondering if somebody was going to ask this question. What do you do with terrestrial invasive species if you find something? Well, there's several things you could do. You'd have to identify it first and make sure that it is an invasive species. There are some simple things you could do. For instance, with the garlic mustard, you could simply pull it out, put it in a plastic bag, and throw it away. That is the most simple thing. There are other ones that you could do the same for, but first you have to identify if it's an invasive species.
Hi, my name is Alexandra, and I'm wondering what is bad about milfoil.
Alexandra, I'm glad you asked this question because not all of our milfoil in Wisconsin are bad. We have 7 native species that belong here. But the one invasive is Eurasian water milfoil. And what that does, it starts growing a lot earlier than our other plants in our lakes. And it gets really thick and dense and comes up to the surface and keeps growing. So it shades out the sun from other plants, and also we can't swim, boat, or even fish in it.
Hi, my name is Lexi, and I'm wondering what does the zebra mussel do to harm our lakes and animals?
Hi Lexi, zebra mussels are a really good species of invasive species, and I don't mean good in a good way, but they do so much damage in a lake once they get into it. They actually clear the water, but by clearing the water, they're eating all the little microorganisms that start out the food web. They also attach onto anything hard, meaning our boat motors, our intake valves that give us water, or even our native clams and mussels. And if anyone didn't know, our native clams and mussels, over half of them are endangered or threatened in Wisconsin.
Hi, my name is Haley, and I was wondering, how do you find out if something is invasive?
Hi Haley, there's lots of ways to find out how things are invasive, but most importantly we have to remember that there's a lot of native lookalikes, so we want to make ultra sure that we're picking up or destroying the right thing. You can talk to the DNR Service Center, or on the web, or the Oneida County Land and Water Department.
Hi Haley, your question was, how do you find out if you're going to have an invasive species?
Yeah, she just asked, how do you find out if something is invasive?
Okay. Hi Haley, how do you find out that something is invasive? Well, actually, sometimes you could tell by yourself that if you put a little plant in your yard, say for instance, or your garden, and it starts just taking over, and you want to think, oh wow, you know, that could be an invasive. That could be a native invasive species that is really aggressive, or a non-native invasive species that come over from another country. So to be sure, but there's a lot of stuff on the internet now. You could take a look at it, or if you get a picture of it or pull a piece, come on into the Land and Water Conservation Department and we'll help you out.
Hi, my name is Adrian. I was wondering if worms are invasive, and if they are, how are they?
Hi Adrian. So you love worms. Well, you know, I like worms too. And it's hard to believe that they're an invasive species, but I have some information for you. It's really, to me, where these worms are. They're good. I'll show you right here. They're good. Maybe I'll just dump everything there. They're good fishing, right? You ever go fishing with worms? I do. I like to fish, and worms are great for fishing. Worms are also great for the garden, and worms are also, you could grow them and have your own compost made from the worms, which is vermiculture. So worms are a tough sell, but there are places in the forest and everything worms do not belong. They eat things and do not allow everything to grow that should be growing in the forest. So it's okay when it's in your garden or to go fishing with, but after you go fishing, you either give your worms to somebody else and say, here, good luck fishing, or you throw them away. Don't throw them in the woods by the landing. That's one of the things that causes them to do things in the woods that we don't want them to do.
Hi, my name is Olivia, and my question is, are any turtles endangered?
Hi Olivia, you've got a turtle question, and I have an answer for you. Anyhow, the turtles in Wisconsin, there is one endangered species, and that's the Blanding's turtle. In all, we have 11 species in Wisconsin, and 5 out of those 11 are either endangered, threatened, or on a special concern list. So yes, we do have some endangered species of turtles.
Hi, my name is Nick, and my question is, how do you find out if something is invasive? And is there good invasive species?
Hi Nick, you had a very good question here. Are there any good invasive species? Well, actually, if it's an invasive species, you want to actually probably manage it somehow. We have native plants that are aggressive and are also considered invasive. So it's not only the plants and animals and insects from another country, but we do have natives that need to be managed also. But if it's an exotic, which is a non-native invasive plant, I gotta say that there probably is not any good invasive species plant, so, or actually insect or any other species of invasive.
Hi, my name is Bowen and I'm wondering what is the most dangerous AIS?
Hey Bowen, you're probably not going to get this one, but I think the most dangerous species of AIS is one that we don't know about. Many of our lakes might have something that we don't even know that's happening under the water. So I'm really careful and worried about those that we're not aware of in Oneida County and in the North Woods.
Hi, my name is Eric, and my question is, how does AIS spread?
Hi Eric, that's a great question. AIS grows and spreads in a couple different ways. For example, purple loosestrife puts out thousands and thousands of seeds for the next year's generation. Or like Eurasian water milfoil that we have up in the North Woods, that spreads by fragments. So just a small piece of the plant will able to go from lake to lake on a boat or in a bucket, and that's how Eurasian water milfoil spreads.
Hi, my name is Richard, and I'm wondering, how do you get rid of the bad plants?
Hi Richard, your question was, how do you get rid of some bad plants? Well, hopefully you don't have any to begin with, but if you do have some, make sure you identify it as a bad plant, as an invasive species, and that's the main point. There's a lot of information on the internet. If you need to identify your plant, you could take it into the DNR to get it in, to get it actually identified. You could bring it into Oneida County Land and Water Conservation Department and talk to myself or Michelle. Anybody in the Land Conservation Department can help you identify that species of plant.
Hi Richard, there's a few different ways that we can take care of invasive species. Some of the ones that we like the best are what we call biocontrol, and that means we're having another animal or plant help us fight the invasive species.